Hey ABC, it's Greeno. Time for an update. What's spinning? Oh nine. Been a couple weeks since I've done a video. Definitely some new stuff in. Actually went out digging last weekend down around DC. It's the first time I've done that in a while. Went a little crazy. Picked up some cool stuff. Showed a little bit of that. And a couple things in the mail and stuff pulled out to listen to and just the typical. And just kind of get started. I was playing in the background. I found this online. Just got it throughout the week here. 6.6 Fallen Angel. Pretty cool band out of Germany. I believe this may have been their only album. It's from like 84, 85, 84. Kind of metal on the hard rock kind of side. Almost has a little bit of a new wave British heavy metal. Yeah, it's that time period that was kind of creeping into everything pretty much, I guess. Cool cover. Found that on sale online. Grabbed it. This is new. Just kind of had it laying here to share real quick in case nobody's seen this. Really cool book. Smoking Valves. A Headbanger's Guide to 900 New Wave of British Heavy Metal Records. Martin Popoff. If you're into metal and you haven't checked out Popoff's books, you're nuts. You need to check out Popoff's books. Don't always agree with him. He's basically writing reviews, you know what I mean? Little histories of the band, and that's where it's cool. The reviews are cool, you get an idea of what's going on, but he adds a lot of information about the bands too, just little small histories and that kind of thing. Very much worth checking out Popoff's books if you haven't. You can order directly from him online. He's up in Canada. Everybody probably knows this by now. Okay, last weekend grabbed this. Haven't watched it yet. Hopefully today. I actually got the house myself today, so spinning records, making videos. But it's All Your Sins Pentagram 2 DVD set. And it's brand new, just come out this year. It's got a bunch of old live footage and some newer footage. And looks like there's even a Death Row concert from Woodbridge, Virginia in 1983. So, very cool. Slowly, kind of started with Mr. Bizarro, Aaron. Kind of got me going into Pentagram direction. And I had their first one on vinyl for a long time. Picked it up years ago for like $2 or $3. An original. But I'd never checked them out, anything out besides that one. And wow, I was way behind on that band. And they're even kind of a local area band for me. Anyways, I grabbed this She Devils on Wheels. Just an old motorcycle flick from the 60s. I don't talk about it much, but I dig weird movies, old sci-fi, horror movies, black and white stuff, biker movies, trucker movies, from the 70s. These things are great. I pick them up anytime I find something cool. A couple 10 inches here. I had this for a while, maybe a month or two. Can't remember. I ordered it, got it offline, online, whatever. It's a band called Outcast from Australia. And this is newer, come out 2014. This just looks like kind of a indie release thing. Serpent Nest Records. This is number 001. 4 tracks. It's new wave traditional heavy metal out of Australia. Really cool stuff. It's like the new wave of traditional heavy metal is like worldwide, man. Bands popping up everywhere. Need more of them in the US. Grabbed this, kind of been wanting it for a while. I really dig this band. Blues Pills, live at Rock House. And it's another 4-track deal on Nuclear Blast. It's come out last year. I have their first full length and really dig them. They're just bluesy, 60s, Janis Joplin-y sounding kind of stuff. Really cool. Where are they from? Sweden? Scandinavia somewhere, something like that. And I grabbed the blues pills because I was ordering this, just kind of add on to the order. But the main reason I placed the order was for the new Orchid 10-inch, which is Sign of the Witch. And again, on Nuclear Blast. Crazy cover, like it's supposed to be like a 3D looking thing. Orchid, man, I was huge on this band for the album Capricorn. And then, what was the second album? Mouse of Madness come out. Okay. And this, okay. Yeah, cool band, putting out good music, but wow, Capricorn, that's their peak. I don't know if they'll ever put out anything better than that album, and I'll continue following them, but I'm not as hot on them as I was for that one album. That album completely blew me away, and that was like album of the year for me when that came out, what, 3-4 years ago. Again, cool band, definitely worth checking out. But Capricorn, modern classic. That album is just phenomenal. Alright, we'll grab some more stuff here. Okay, here we go. Got a nice little stack to get through here. So, like I said, it's been a couple weeks, and yeah, actually went digging. I haven't done that for a while. A really good dig. So we got. Here's a band I've been kind of wanting to check out more and more, and I have been picking up records. And they're still sitting in the just-in piles. But I find them for like $1 or $2 a piece, and that's kind of the price I'm looking for with this band. But actually, LJ was showing some stuff by these guys, and I've kind of been wanting to check them out. But I found this one. It was $5, but I went ahead and grabbed it. It's Chilliwack. Was it Opus 10? But it's Korean press. So, what's the chances on finding a Chilliwack album pressed in Korea? Here's the insert. You can see different language and all that. On the back has the lyrics in English. But yeah, very cool. Find something from Korea, and it has some other stuff in there. And it's always funny because it's, if you look at the label, it has the typical RCA label, but it says approved by the government on it and all that kind of stuff. So, anyways, I checked out side one of that. Yeah, cool band, that AOR. But I remember LJ saying there's a couple albums to definitely watch for, and I can't remember off the top of my head. And like I said, anything I find, buy them for $1 or $2. I've been picking up, and I probably have like maybe 2 or 3 other ones, 3, maybe 4. All right, next up, Glass Orchid Aftermath, making videos again up in Pittsburgh, which very cool. We totally listen to different stuff, but I always dig Mark's videos, and it's cool to see him back. But every once in a while he shows something, definitely catches my attention. And I didn't even know this was out. It's a band kind of discovered while digging up in Pittsburgh, asking about the local scene. Shop turned me on to them, and I didn't know they had a new album out. The band is Carousel. New album is 2113 on TP Records. Killer band. Just, if you read the hype sticker, both albums talk about Thin Lizzy and Kiss, that 70s kind of sound. And they do kind of have that, but that's going a little overboard, throwing those names out. But it's definitely a cool album. It's definitely in that vein that, you can tell that's what they like. And another solid album. The first album was Jeweler's Daughter. Great album, and this kind of fits right in there. If you've checked out their other albums, or if you haven't checked them out at all, give them a shot. Very cool if you dig the 70s sound and stuff. This is, kind of right up your alley. Didn't even know this was out. Just found it new while digging. I did pick up some new stuff, like brand new stuff, last weekend. It's Girls' School, Glasgow, 1982. It's a live show. Here's the label. It says it's on purple vinyl, but it's like the darkest, deepest purple. You almost have to hold it up to the light and go, yeah, that's not quite black. It might be a little purple. But pretty cool, you know. Freaking Girls' School, man, from back in the day. It doesn't get much better. It's just killer, you know, new wave British heavy metal sounding stuff. And was really happy to run across this. It's on Cleopatra. It just come out, you know, 2015. Very well done. Sounds good. Yeah, it's a live show, radio broadcast, I'm pretty sure. All right, this album, a band I've totally avoided. Got talking to one of the dudes at the shop, and just like real quick, and I was like, well, I'm gonna give this a shot, you know what I mean? But totally avoided this band because I didn't like what was going on with, they were touring as Thin Lizzy without Phil. That's impossible. But they pulled it off evidently, and they started writing new material. Changed their name, put out an album. I never checked it out, maybe a couple seconds here and there. Put out a new album. Kind of got talked into picking it up. Black Star Rider. What's the name of the album? Killer Instinct, I think. Yeah. And like I said, I'm late to this band, and on purpose. I just avoided them. And didn't like the whole Thin Lizzy thing, touring without Phil and all that. But they changed their name. That's a big thumbs up. Writing new material. And this freaking smokes. I was wrong. In a sense. It's good that they changed their name, left the Thin Lizzy name behind, and moving forward. Still sounds like Thin Lizzy. Very good. If you dig Thin Lizzy, definitely give this a shot. You know, I don't know what else to say. It's a good album, really good album. Kind of surprised. Next, been seeing this around online, and a little expensive, and I found it cheaper, brand new, so I went ahead and grabbed it. The Swords new album, High Country. 2 LP set, and it's The Sword, a little different. What's this, like their 5th album now? It's a little, I mean, it's still definitely in that whatever stoner 70s hard rock and retro sound. It's still The Sword, but they got some different sounds on here. It's got a killer gatefold of the band, practicing, recording, whatever. Very cool. And some of the new sounds they got going on here, I dug. At first it was like, wow, what are these guys doing? Are they going to go in like some weird direction? But like I said, I ended up really liking it. If I can get all this back together. Sword is one of those bands I try and keep up with. I don't pretend to know every album front to back, but I definitely enjoy this band. And like I say, I kind of came across it a good bit cheaper than I've seen it online. I don't know if it was priced wrong or something, but I went ahead and grabbed it. Next, ordered this online from Rocket Drone. Stepsons, The Lost Tapes, 1972 to 1974. 70s hard rock band from the early 70s in California. I think right out of LA. And I believe they only had the one album, if I remember correctly. Excuse me. And these are recordings from before that album and a couple right after. And just really good. The recordings vary a little bit. Not that any of them are bad, but you might get a couple songs that are a little more kind of muffled sounding than the last two, but they're all very listenable. It's just it's not a uniform sound across the whole album, but really cool. If you dig the 70s hard rock, you know, definitely check these guys out. And I'm looking for their album. I know I've seen a couple people show it. I think Corey might have found it, and LJ and somebody else, and I just can never come across the original album from back in the 70s. And it's, you know, I don't think it's like a huge rarity or anything like that. It's just one that doesn't pop up. But I've been looking for that for a while. Excited about this, and some more Pentagram. Brand new album, Curious Volume. Holy shit. What else to say, man? First side. You dropped the needle. Very cool. Pentagram. I got to side 2 and it was like, fuck, man. Side 2 is just a brain melter. Very good, man. Just it's a great album all the way through, but side 2 just blew me away. All the songs on there are just amazing. If you dig Pentagram, definitely check this out. Here's the inner. Yeah, these guys are getting up there in years, and Bobby looks like Bobby. Like, you're surprised he's still functioning. But his vocals sound fantastic, and they're just ripping it up. And that's, I don't know, it's coming from me, a newer Pentagram fan. Who knows? Guys have been into the band forever. I haven't read any reviews on this, but you know, people might hate it. I don't know. I'm just, from my point of view, that album is freaking great. Next, got this a while back. Again, picking up more of these radio broadcasts. It's the Ramones Cretin Hop live broadcast from the Second Chance Saloon, February 1979. It's 2 LP set. I believe this was Back on Black, was it not? No. I don't have my glasses on, so. But anyways, just good old Ramones show, you know. Total metalhead here, but you know, pound for pound, best rock and roll band ever in my book. And this sounds good. It's a little thin. Could use some more bass, but it's just an old radio broadcast. It's very, very listenable. It's the freaking Ramones, yeah. This is a leftover from the last video. Had to spin it while I had them out. Garage days. And don't need to say much about this, other than I was texting Aaron while I was spinning this, and it was just like sending him pictures, like spinning now, and I can't sit still. It's just, this album just drives me nuts. I can't put this on and just sit down and listen to it. Just like get up and walk around, and I'm like, you know, air guitar or headbanging and all. It's just, that album drives me crazy. Pull this out, spin it again. New Midnight Priest, Midnight Steel is the name of the album. I've really gotten into this. Hated this album when I got it on CD, I've mentioned. Got the vinyl, and it sounds totally different, and this is a killer album. Hope these guys keep going. Found this online, was kind of happy. It's a good album, not the greatest album, but it kind of completed my collection. EF Band, One Night Stand. This was their third album. Great cover. Come on. They were from Sweden. This is like, I'm trying to remember the year. I think it was 86, and it's on Mausoleum. It's an original. These guys were, like I said, from Sweden. They kind of came to Britain whenever the New Wave British Heavy Metal was taken off, and kind of got absorbed into that. So especially their first 2 albums are thought of as that New Wave British Heavy Metal. You know, they were in that scene. This album's a little different. It's not quite as good as the first two. The mix is a little off on this. It's almost like the vocals are kind of buried, and I believe this was new vocalist on this album. I should probably research better. But anyways, I pulled out the other two. This was their first one from '81. Is that right? Last Laugh Is On You. And they started out as a three-piece. And then 82 or 83. 82 was the second album, Deep Cut. Like I said, these two are more new wave British heavy metal. The other one, you know, you're getting further. It's 85, 86. They're changing. They're trying to keep up, and excuse me, just not as good. First two are great. I just kind of pulled those out and show you with it. I had this sitting around forever. Finally spun it. It was in the Just In piles or whatever. It's Evil, Infected Nations. Part of that whole retro 80s thrash scene that was going on there 5, 6, 7 years ago. A lot of cool bands come out of that scene. You know, Gamma Bomb and War Machine, all that stuff. Evil was like one of the top ones, man, and they're still going, I believe. But their first two albums are, you know, was it Enter the Grave, Into the Grave? Can't remember the first. It's something about a grave. First album is freaking excellent, and this isn't very far behind. This is a really good album. Very cool band. They were from England, I believe. Alright, just a few more here. Going, I've been showing in my last few videos some these radio broadcast albums coming out, like on Back on Black and that kind of thing. Shit, Blue Oyster Cult and, you know, Guns N' Roses and that. But I mentioned to I got talking to Scott Waters, brother Scott, and I mentioned the Aerosmith one, and he either showed it or we just got talking about it. But he definitely was like, "Hey man, it sounds great." So went ahead and grabbed it. It's Bang at the Moon classic 1978 rock radio broadcast. And Scott's right on, man. This is killer. And this is the reason I like Aerosmith. That 70s. And I dug them when they first got back together in the 80s. And I saw them like 5 times in the 80s, you know. They always had good opening bands. You know, Guns N' Roses, Dokken, and that kind of shit. But totally lost it after that, you know, by like late 80s when they got that formula sounding, you know, Pump and all that crap. I was done with them. Just every album sounded the same. And that's no offense to him. I know Scott is a huge Aerosmith fan, and we've even talked about this. You know, I told him I just can't stand that era of the band. And he's like, that's cool, he understands, you know, and it's not his favorite era. His favorite era is still the 70s too. And this is what made Aerosmith made him important, is that 70s stuff, and we all know it. Not the radio crap from the late 80s and 90s. But this is very cool. It's on Back on Black radio broadcast, 2 LP set, and it just sounds great. It's classic Aerosmith, just tearing it up in Boston. Very cool. This I knew nothing about. I haven't even really looked it up. The Open Mind. Just kind of that, it's 60s psychedelic. It's a reissue on Sunbeam. I picked this up at that little hippie shop I go to up in Pennsylvania. And just something different to listen to. Very cool. He kind of turns me on. I've talked about that shop too. He turns me on to different stuff that I don't know about. And this is one of them. Really dug this. I'm sure there's somebody in the DC that can talk at length about this band, this album, but I can't. And I just didn't look up much information on it other than to say it's pretty cool. Dug it. Hang on to it. Found this last weekend. Stone Age, the Rolling Stones. Dig the Stones, you know, from like mid-70s back. But especially the heroin years, you know, late 60s through mid-70s. But this is pretty cool. It's a Dutch pressing 2 LP set. It has the Stone Age, which is a compilation that came out in England of a bunch of the early singles that were never on albums. So they basically made a comp out of that. But this is a 2 LP set that also has the live album. What is it? Got Live If You Want It. And it's kind of cool. It's a gatefold. You open it up, and on this side it has the back of this album cover and the back of this album cover when you flip it. But yeah, it's just cool. The comp is what's really cool. The Got Live If You Want It, you know. Supposedly that isn't even live, and you know, whatever. But I am a Stones fan. When, you know, if it comes to the Beatles or the Stones, I've already said this, Stones a million times over. But try and pick up anything odd like that, I find by that. Okay, the camera shut off there. Went to put this video together and noticed this one record, I missed it. Camera didn't, I was talking to myself basically. So I'm going to add this in real quick here. Everything's already put away and all that, but I found this last weekend while out digging. I was really happy to find this. Pretty sure 99.9% it's just a bootleg, but Metallica, Metal Up Your Ass. And I used to have this shirt. That's immediately what came to mind as soon as I saw this. They had it up on the wall when I walked into this shop, where I totally wouldn't expect it to be. But it had this exact design on a shirt. Everybody's probably seen that shirt. It's a famous shirt. But 85, 86, whatever. I was walking around with this on a shirt, making my parents proud. But it's pretty cool. It's the No Life Till Leather demos and one or two other tracks. I can't remember what they were from off the top of my head, but these sound really good. It's a really nicely done deal, and it even has Music for Nations label on it, just on black vinyl, and there's a barcode and Music for Nations and everything on it. But like I said, I'm pretty sure it's just a boot. I haven't really looked into it. Probably won't, you know. Just happy to found it. And I'm not sure if it says made in France. You know how that goes. It even has issued under the license from Megaforce Incorporated. Yeah, who knows? If anybody knows, is this a legit deal on Music for Nations, or just somebody doing a really good job bootlegging this? Sounds great. Really happy to have this. So, alright, let's get back to the regularly scheduled program. Jesus, now the camera shut off. So where was I at now? Showed the Dexter Ward, I believe. Hope we didn't miss a bunch here. Savoy Brown, Savage Return. Picked this up for a couple bucks. Just checking it out. And Savoy Brown, not Sawyer Brown. Usually anytime I talk about this band, I say Sawyer Brown. Savoy Brown. It's cool, you know, rocking stuff from the 70s. I can't remember, 78, 76. On London. Alright, next, showed the other reissue from this band. Last video or video before. But it's Mindless Sinner, Master of Evil. And this is their EP. And again on Heavy Forces. Band out of Sweden. Man, I can't remember the year on this. Early 80s, 82, something like that. And this is killer. This has the EP, and then side 2 is all live, which, to be quite honest, again, you know, I wanted the EP, and that's mainly what I spun on this. I mean, if I spun the side 2, I need to do that. But it's new to this band, and it freaking knocked my socks off. Killer band. Very happy to have both these reissues on Heavy Forces. Got this a while back. Just Motorhead Inferno. It's fucking Motorhead. It's Motorhead. It's good. Just deal with it. Do have their new album. Spun it 2 or 3 times. Enjoying it so far. Want to listen to it some more before I show it. Last one, Enforcer, their new album From Beyond, and this is on the light blue vinyl. It says it's limited to 300, and this is like either number 13 or number 43. I have the black vinyl version, and these showed up like on Nuclear Blast, selling them for like $6 something a piece. And Nathan here in the BC kind of sent out messages, and I was like, holy crap. So I went ahead and ordered one for that price, you know. And it's different colored vinyl. So I went ahead and grabbed it. Enforcer, man, killer new wave traditional heavy metal. If you haven't checked them out, holy crap, dude. So this is like their 4th or 5th album. And like I say, I grabbed it because it was cheap, and actually when I got the Orchid and Blues pills, got this same time. So thanks, Nathan. All right, that's it. BC, another long video, I'm guessing here, but it's been a couple weeks. So. Stuff coming in the mail, lots more to show. Got the new Maiden there. Haven't even opened it yet. It came a couple days after the release date. I did the pre-order, got it for what, $14 or something. When I don't know if that was a mistake or what. Definitely other people in the BC scored on that. There was messages flying everywhere that day. But I'm waiting for it. Probably be today. Waiting for a time where I could sit down and listen to the whole thing. I did want to come home after work one day, put the needle down, and get a song and a half in, and somebody's yelling for me, needing something, doing something, give me that, give me this. So, probably today, I might crack that open. And always kind of letting it die down a little bit. Everybody's been talking about it, and I've been avoiding the reviews. Yeah, I've seen 4 or 5 people put up reviews of the album. If you've done that, I haven't watched that video, sorry, because I'm waiting to spin it myself. Excuse me. And I know there's some killer reviews going around about it, so we shall see. Again, I think that's it. I'm rambling now. Hope everybody has a great week coming up. It's cooling off here, fall is kind of setting in. It was like high 50s this morning. Beautiful. Now we can just get some snow. Later, BC.